good night, and welcome to my new series. This B makes it easier, and this time we're starting with chemistry. So let's get started. Now, welcome to chemistry. Now, what is chemistry? Chemistry is a natural science that involves the study of matter and the chemical reactions between substances. It is also the study of matter's composition. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. It exists in three distinct forms: solid, liquid, and gas. The mass of anything is a measure of the number of atoms in it. The basic unit of measurement for mass is the kilogram. Atoms give rise to elements, and elements give rise to compounds. Elements consist of the same type of atoms, for example, oxygen, O2, helium, He, and hydrogen, H. There are approximately 103 elements known to man, 92 of which are natural. Compounds consist of different types of atoms, for example, water, which is made up of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Table salt, also known as sodium chloride, which is made up of sodium and chloride atoms. And sugar, also known as glucose, which is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. The main goal of chemistry is to understand matter and the chemical reactions which take place in everyday life. Chemists use chemistry to make sure standards are maintained and to solve real-world problems of pollution. No one person made up chemistry. However, the experimental works of many scientists via their common goal to understand what matter is and how it behaves via chemical reactions have contributed to the science as we know it today. Here are some early scientists. Antoine Lavoisier. He is famous for being the father of modern chemistry. Lavoisier was able to show the relationship between oxygen and metal, resulting in rust. He also was able to show the role of oxygen in plant respiration and in animals. It was he who showed that water was made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and that air was composed mainly of oxygen and nitrogen in its gaseous state. Dmitri Mendeleev. He was famous for creating the table of elements used in chemistry and physics. In addition to the creation of the periodic table, Mendeleev worked on the spectroscope and the capillarity of liquids, both of which continue to be used to this day. Politics got in the way of Dmitri from receiving the Nobel Prize in 1906. Marie Curie, famous for discovering radium and polonium. Marie Curie received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911 for her discovery of radium and polonium. She was able to isolate and study the compounds and nature of the radium. Unfortunately, this is what she died from. And then Louis Pasteur. He was famous for the process of pasteurization and creation of vaccines for rabies and anthrax. In addition to developing the process of pasteurization, Louis Pasteur discovered the asymmetrical molecular structure on certain crystals. He made some of the earliest vaccines for rabies and anthrax and the reduction of a bacterial infection in what is known as puerperal fever or puerperal fever. Some common areas of employment for people with chemistry are engineering, healthcare, education, research and technical, medicine, and something completely different. If you become an engineer, you could become a chemical engineer, an oil engineer, a gas engineer, plastic and water companies, and you'll be making about 60 to 100,000 K. Healthcare, you could work in laboratories where you may be involved in blood analysis, urine analysis, and detection of diseases, and you will start with 40,000 K and eventually work your way up to 140,000 K. In education, you become a high school educator, university professor, or lecturer, and usually with high school teachers will make less, and the higher up you go in education with teaching, you will start to make more, which will land you about 170,000 K. Research and technical, you could become a data analyst, a lab technician, a research associate, or technical specialist, and you stay in the range between 50 to 60,000 K. With medicine, you become a doctor or nurse. With doctors, your highest is when you start to specialize. So in specializations like urology, cardiology, orthopedics, you will start to make around 400,000 up to 500,000. A normal or general practitioner will make $140,000, and that's good. That's a really good life. A nurse, on the other hand, would make $67,000. So you take your pick. What's your flavor? You pick it. Something completely different. Discover your own niche. Depends on what you are selling and where you are selling it, and it all depends on the demand at the time, the year that you're living in, the generation that you're living in. Whatever it is, that is how you will make your money if you decide to go that route. Now, it takes approximately 2 years to learn all of the high school topics listed in the CSEC syllabus. However, it may take 5+ years to truly understand chemistry. So the first section is Principles of Chemistry, which will be done in the first year. Organic chemistry will be done in the second year, and inorganic chemistry will be done in the third year. Basically, what would happen is that in schools here in St. Kitts, the work is split into 3 years, and so you'll be able to take your time in the process of learning chemistry. Whereas in some countries, they only give you 2 years to learn it. But if you get the 3 years, you'll be good to go. And so, suggestions, requirements for chemistry, you need to know, you need to have a good foundation in math, a good foundation in English, physics, and the times that you dedicate to this subject is about 4 hours per week if you're given 3 years. This is based on a 3-year course. Now, for math, you need to know how to transpose and to graph. For English, you need to have good writing skills with subject-verb agreement, and just overall learning how to express yourself, because you're going to have to write up 8 labs. With physics, both of them, physics and chemistry, are closely related, so it's best if you have a little physics as your background so that you won't be lost when you reach the physics parts of chemistry, which is mostly graphing and knowing about relationships. And again, the time is 4 hours per week. And there you have it, and that is your introduction to chemistry. Come on back for another round of chemistry in about 2 days.